Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep final mix playthrough. We're still in Disney Town, and the music is still going on with the wonderful Mickey Mouse Club March. Who's the leader of the pack who's made for you and me? M-I-C-K-U-I-M-O-U-S-E. And so on and so forth. So, we've still got a little bit more exploring. I was about to say exploratoring or something of that ilk, but exploring is correct. Because there's a whole sort of sewer area to Disney Town, and it's where the majority of the chests in this area are hidden. It's a little bit mean, also because we are about to see a rather horrific area in terms of actually making progress, and if you don't know what you're looking for, then it just gets worse as you go. So that will explain in part why this part is so long. The other part of that is the delight that is we've got another command board that we will unlock once we've made it through Disney Town, so we're going to be enjoying a bit of that. But yes, we're going to be spending some time down here first. The main thing that you're going to want to have on you is some sort of lightning command. So Thunder Surge will do us quite nicely, actually. Any other lightning moves that you've got, like Thunder or Thundara or Thundaga, all work out. The more Thunder you've got, the better. And basically, if you can get into the Thunderbolt command style, which I don't know whether we have access to yet or not, or I mean, even if you just mash your way through your commands, then you should be able to get all the way up to the top. And while it seems that we do not have access to Thunderbolt just yet, we do have, well, at least we did have more than enough Thunder moves to get that switch on. They do kind of clue you into the fact that you need Thunder to do it, because they give you Thunder in the chest right next to it. But other than that, it's not the most helpful to be able to figure this out. But hey, the other slightly challenging thing about this area is that obviously you're platforming, and Terra is not the best platformer in the game. I mean, to be fair, platforming in the Kingdom Hearts franchise has never been its best feature, shall we say. They did obviously manage to make it somewhat fun in terms of when they did Dream Drop Distance, and I will say that in Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep Fragmentary Passage, which is a sort of very short little mini-game, and by mini-game I mean small game, it's like 3 hours long, which is effectively the immediate prologue to Kingdom Hearts 3, which, you know, we're all still waiting for at this point. I'm hoping that we get, you know, a full-on official, here's the exact day this game is going to come into our hands dates at E3 this year, because that would be nice. I would be down with that, so that would make me very happy. But obviously, you know, there's only so much that we can do with these sorts of things. And yeah, the platforming in that game is a lot more fluid because it takes much more from the Dream Drop Distance style of movement. And as long as Kingdom Hearts 3 follows through with that, then yeah, it'll be quite delightful in terms of moving about. At this point in the franchise, while movement options were improving, you're still kind of a little bit limited, and that was just one of those moments of just going, really? Really? This is why I don't like moving about with Terra as much, because his platforming is easily the worst of any of the main characters in Birth by Sleep. He does have the air slide right now, which is obviously very helpful and makes us, lets us get through these sorts of areas much more effectively. but it's still not fluid enough to be able to get us going around everything much better. I'm not sure that's kind of all those sentences really made sense. You can clearly see, well, basically the weather's warmer in the UK than it has been for a while, so clearly the heat is getting to my brain and just driving me ever so slightly bonkers. So be prepared for a rather crazy, slightly delusional Richie by the time we get towards the latter half of this part, slash just the entire recording session, which is obviously like most of a week, slash an entire week. I mean, I just realised just before starting to record this very commentary, I was like, where's part 9 on my YouTube channel? I could have sworn I uploaded that. No! I just completely blanked on Friday upload, and I was just like, wait, what? Who? Where? What? I know that I did this. So why the hell is it not there? Just clearly completely blanked. Anyway, this is an interesting bit. It's basically, you know, pinball, but you are the ball, and it's frustrating because there's a whole bunch of chests in this area, which some of them, well, the first challenge you have is, you know, getting up above in this area, which, as you can see when I'm using Terra right here, it'll improve dramatically as I go through with the other characters, because it took me until I finished with Terra to be able to go, okay, so this is what I need to do to be able to actually make any progress in this area. But yes, you've got one chest there, there's a chest in the delightful block there, which you can't get to unless you've hit all of the blue crowned bumpers, which is frustrating. I mean, the one thing that you can get quite a lot of money from this, just by hitting the bumpers. You do pick up quite a bit of dough. But the thing is that you can end up spending just a ridiculous amount of time here, because if you are not kind of going up, then you're just going all over the place, and sometimes hitting things at a wrong angle just doesn't put you in a position where you want to be. Essentially, you're always going to want to be sitting on the top of a bumper rather than hitting it at the side, because that's just going to leave you in a really frustrating position of just getting bounced about all over the place. And as you can see, just the frustration that was occurring right now was ridiculous. So, thankfully I finally got onto this bit, not realising, oh, there was a chest there, but also because I know that that's going to leave me out and it's just going to reset all my hard work here. I mean, hard work, I've just been bounced about like there's no frickin' tomorrow. And that's half the reason, you know, why I've left this in, because, like, my god, it was ridiculous. And I love also how the game just decided it was going to take a while to figure out that I needed to be back in the ball. But clearly, just, maybe it was feeling pity on me, maybe it was frustrated as well for me mucking this up so tremendously badly. I promise you, it will get better. It will. Somehow. And I was just like, nah! And I was just like, finally got on top of you, you blighter! And then it was just like, oh, yes! And then it's, there we go, there's the top one, that is a successful moment. Little realising that, you know, there's like 2 chests over in the corner that I want to get to, and also at this moment I was just like, why is it not open? Because you see, I was daft and thought that the blue would go away. It doesn't. It's the bars, and once the bars are gone you can get in, and yeah, just everything about that was just torturous. because looking back at it now, it's just like the worst thing ever that I could have possibly done, because then it's just like, right, well, I've got to come back in, and then, oh, it's all reset. Yay! It's moments like these where I look at the fact that I'm now right at the end of recording the entire playthrough, which feels like it's been... well, it's not really been a long time at all. It's just that I have managed to get my recording in for the footage a lot faster than I have with my commentary recording, which is generally always the way anyway with any playthrough that I've ever done. So it's not kind of completely ridiculous that I am right at the end of recording, and yes, I'm only part way through Terra's story, like just over halfway through. But it does give you a sort of newer perspective in terms of how the gameplay that you were achieving, shall we say, at the beginning of your run was maybe not quite as stellar as it perhaps should have been. But you see, it's that whole thing of when you're learning all of the stuff again, because while I am okay at Birth by Sleep, I mean, it's pretty much the same with all Kingdom Hearts games, I'm an okay Kingdom Hearts player, I'm not anything excellent. I don't remember a lot of the little bits and pieces as I have played through the game, and that was so incredibly close. That could have gone one of two ways. It very nearly went south and I would have had to do all of that again. I mean, I'm still going to have to go back to Pete's Rec Room because I missed 2 chests over there, which were all the way at the top. And oh look, it's the prize pods! So yeah, these guys are hidden up here for Terra, which is obviously a little bit of a nightmare to get to. But it's okay, because they're here, and I get to murder them, so it all works out in the end, really. And oh, that blighter decided to disappear just before I got him. Typical. And then hopefully, you know, I'm going to see right here, I might not do, but hopefully I will see that I am missing chests and go back and get them before I continue onward. Oh yeah, it's just one chest. One chest in that area, which means I've got to get all the way back. And the question is, am I going to be able to Thunder Surge Fire Dash my way back over? The answer is no. So I'm going to have to cough my lungs up and do it all over again, because that's always fun. Every time I've ever been in Disney Town, on every single run, it does just end up taking forever, because it just takes a while to platform through this area, and then obviously once you get to the pinball machine, it's just finicky. And it's not that it's bad per se, it's just that it's not necessarily as functional as it probably should be. So if I ever have to see a pinball machine in a game ever, it will be too soon. Like, I have played far too much pinball in video games, and I mean, it's never been my most favourite style of game ever. I'm not the biggest pinball person in the world. I know some people absolutely love it, and fair dues, I totally understand it. It's just not for me. I'm much more of that action game-oriented type person, as you can see by the types of games that I play. And also the fact of, outside of, say, Pokemon and Fire Emblem, I don't really do turn-based games all that much. I don't know, I think I just like having a bit more input in terms of my actions. But either way, we've done everything that we possibly can do in the delightful Disney Town, so now it's time for a bit of rumble racing, which is what obviously we were meant to do from the beginning. It's just that, you know, I just thought I'd get everything else first. So this is Terra's minigame, Rumble Racing, which is basically Mario Kart except kind of crap. The main thing that you got to realise with this is that the AI is a cheating sod, so it'll rubber band like there is no bloody tomorrow, so good luck dealing with that. The other thing is that you have really got to make use of braking around corners, because your speed is just that little bit ridiculous. You can do a skid charge to attack your foes, and you can use a barrier to protect yourself, but pretty much the thing that you're going to want to do as you progress is just take every possible shortcut imaginable. Otherwise, you may end up in a difficult position. Also, where possible, you do want to just attack your opponents, because that way they'll just end up having to get stalled, and then you're more likely to be able to get in front of them. But as you can see, I was just like, yeah, this is going really well. I'm really happy with my result here. And then Captain Dark there decided he was going to rush up behind me like the sod he is, and also just be more of a sod by dropping bombs. And it's just like, hey, where are my bombs? If you're going to Mario Kart clone on me, you best give me my items. I mean, even if it's just a banana, like, bananas can be surprisingly helpful in terms of protecting yourself from your foes and everything else, but then it got to this point, it's just like, right, I'm going to be deadly, and also cheat by taking the shortcut, which is always the way to go, because I mean, you cut off a whole bunch of the track and then end up in first. And then it was at this point where I was just like, oh, maybe I made a bad idea. Please, for the love of God, let me be fast enough to make it to the end of this, because we do have to win in order to pass this. So, yeah, got a little bit fraught at the end there, because Terra's top speed's not that fast, which is really annoying. There are multiple courses that you can do in Rumble Racing, and I think I will probably show them all off. I'm currently in that phase towards the end of the playthrough. I'm going, how much do I actually want to cover in this playthrough? And it's gradually getting more and more and more, but we shall see.
What are you talking about?
Chip means the Million Dreams Award. It's a very popular part of our Dream Festival. Everyone in town votes for who we think is the most exemplary citizen.
And since everybody knows how much of a troublemaker Pete is, he probably figured wearing a disguise was the only way he'd get any votes. No votes, no prize. Yeah, the prize is all he really wants anyway. He doesn't care about being a good citizen.
Oh, I think that's very sad. The award is supposed to help us appreciate how much we all look out for each other every day.
Well, one thing I know for sure, I'm voting for Terra. Your racing really saved the day against those monster carts. Hip hip hooray for Terra!
Well, I got something out of it too. I learned that you don't always have to bend the rules to reach your goals.
Oh.
All this time, I've been staring into the darkness. But that doesn't mean I have to jump in.
So yes, Terra learned a little something from his trip to Disney Town. Now, depending on which order you do Disney Town in, so, well, which order you do the playthroughs in, so whether you do Terra, then Aqua, then Terra, Aqua, Aqua, then Terra, effectively, whoever you finish your run of the games with, oh, Sonic Blade, oh, I do love a good Sonic Blade, it's great fun as a move, but yes, whoever you finish your series of playthroughs with will have an extra cutscene at the end of Disney Town. Also, if you finish Disney Town and then go back in, then you will be able to, how shall I put it? You'll be able to play through the other mini-games that are available to you. So that is play through Fruit Ball, which was available to you anyway, but you can still play that, but also Ice Cream Blast, which is going to be Ven's minigame of choice. Fruit Ball is Aqua's minigame of choice, and it's definitely my least favourite of the three. Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, my least favourite. It's awful. But more about, I mean, obviously you've already seen how Fruit Ball works, but more about that in Aqua Story. First off, we have the Toon Board, which is how we're going to close off this part, which means even more MICKYMOUSE. I'll be very, very, very glad when this is all over, because I think this song is just getting stuck and stuck and stuck in my ear hole, and it will never leave.
Alright.
Now, one of the things that I will... It's taken me a while to actually stop doing, but I didn't realise to begin with that I could just not shuffle the playing order, which means I get to go first, and that just makes me go quicker. But hey. Now, the whole shtick at the Toon Board is that you've got this sort of big circle that goes around, and then you've got sort of smaller loops that you can do depending on how you want to play this. And pretty much the way that the AI takes the route is it'll always go to the left to the blue, round to the red, and then it'll start... Well, then it varies as to what its tactic is. Because I've seen it go then up to the right and try and follow around to get to the yellow one, but then I've also seen it where, like, Minnie in particular has ended up on a loop around where the red level up space is, the red checkpoint, and that can actually prove to be quite a deadly manoeuvre on Minnie's part, because effectively what ends up happening is you have a greater chance of landing on the kind of purple sparkly space. And in this particular board, it's actually quite helpful because it's Fantasia. And what Fantasia does is it gives you GP based on your panel count. And obviously if you're picking up panels in that loop, then you're getting more panels, and therefore you're getting a chance at getting a higher number of GP. And if you just keep doing that and keep landing on Fantasia, then you're just going to rack up your score very quickly. And if you're going for the lowest possible win total, which is 6,000, then you're going to do pretty okay in this. So that's a definite tactic, one that I tend to use the most throughout all of my command boards is using the double speed. So 2 dice.
There we go.
Yeah. Just because it means that you're more likely to get round the board quicker. The only issue with that is then if you land on spaces and don't manage to have enough GP to be able to buy them or enough cards to be able to place on them, then you kind of end up screwing yourself over a little bit.
Did you see that?
The it's all okay, because it's just the way it rolls. But I have had a few I've had a few interesting command board runs as I have progressed through this game. Because obviously, as I said, I've cut out all of the ones that I did with Ben and all the ones that I did with Aqua, because there's no need for you to see them. But there was an instance where I did actually lose a game which was traumatizing, really. But what happened was that I believe it was this board actually. Minnie ended up purchasing a space from Captain Dark just as I was on my way back, and he was so close that all he needed to do was get to the blooming start, and then that was that. And it was so infuriating because it was just like, and it was all because it was a bit of hubris, really, because I had decided to go a little bit of a long way around to get to the start, because I just thought, they're not going to catch up, I've got plenty of time, I'll just try and spot a few more commands down and it'll all be fine. No, it wasn't. But that was the only game of the command board that I have lost so far, having, you know, taken on the game once again. Because obviously I can't say at all how my runs in my first playthrough of the game ever went. In fact, I can't really remember playing all that much of the command board, for better or for worse. But also, I mean, if you want to complete your reports, then you do kind of need to play through all of them, because you need to play through every single command board. And to get the last one, you need to play through all of them, so you see, it all ends up having to work out.
No!
And bloody hell, Minnie. Now, if I wanted to, I could, you know, take over this, and a Cura would be nice, but I don't want to give Minnie the points. There are moments where you will want to take over commands, but generally I'd say the only times that you ever want to do that are when it would prove advantageous for you. For instance, if I were to take Minnie's blue one in that area there, that would probably do me good, because I'd then have, I believe, all of them in a district, which would improve my score. The other ones are where you've got the doubles. So, yes, but also another Fantasia! Brilliant, I'll tell you this. I mean, generally at this point now I just skip them. Obviously I accidentally kind of skipped the one in 100 Acre Wood, which shows Rabbit. But, hey, these things happen. But I'm pretty sure that I'm very close to victory, and actually, as you can see, I believe Captain Dark is doing the loop strategy, so I think it might actually be they just automatically apply it to one of the AI, because in 100 Acre Wood, Tigger always uses his Luminek, his 2 dice maneuver, always. So you do have to watch out for that. Obviously, in here, one of them always takes the loop method. Although sometimes they will break out of it when they realise that it's not going to do them any good. It just varies. But yes, the interesting thing will be exactly how close will I be to victory upon hitting start. So basically, all I need to do is go down, and I've basically got enough to win. So I'll take that, and I'll take a new move. So that works out for me perfectly. It's just a case of now getting back to the start and, you know, not doing what has been done before, which I have done before, of buying someone's move up when I shouldn't have done, and thereby completely screwing me over. But yeah, just to make sure that I get to the end, we're triple dicing the hell out of this. Doesn't quite get me to the end, but hey, it means I can level up another move, so it all works out. And thank you for even more dough, Minnie, that's lovely of you. So, come on game. Speed up a little bit, please, and just let me finish. Oh! Even more money. Well, that was a positive end.
There we go.
And I am victorious. Thank you very much. I will take that and be moving onwards with my life. So, with that, it's time to head onwards to a new world.